My partner, I'll call them Kai, broke up with me 4 or so months back. We had had a bad argument the night before and the day of they had been working, and afterwards they were supposed to meet me and our friends at a gig. They didn't turn up, and a couple hours later I questioned if I had gotten the time they left work wrong, so left it for another hour. I finally asked my friend who worked at the same place what time they finish, and they said the time I had initially thought they finished. By this point they were roughly 4 hours late. I called them and they had said they had met a girl at work and gone back to her flat to chill and smoke. This immediately sent me into a spiral that basically destroyed the rest of the evening. I didn't actually think they would do anything, but the fact that we had had a massive argument and they hadn't come home to sort it and come to the gig really stressed me out. I then called every couple hours, and at midnight they told me they were on their way home, and then proceeded to not turn up until 3 a.m. in the morning when they broke up with me. The main reason this really frustrated me is because if I had done this, Kai would have been crying down the phone at me, losing their shit, scared that I was fucking whoever I was with. I also have BPD and a big fear of abandonment due to trauma, which they know. I have massively worked on this to the point it is not even really a problem. After we broke up, I had found out that while they were at this girl's flat they had both been in her room, and there was a lot of tension, but Kai said they were in a relationship and couldn't do anything even though they wanted to. They then spoke about our relationship and the struggles they were dealing with because I have BPD, depression, and an eating disorder. A week or so after, I went to pick my stuff up from their parents' place. We went for a walk and spoke about everything, and that if I went into therapy we could okay at getting back together again. We even kissed. We decided that we weren't back together, but we wouldn't have any sort of relationship with anyone else and we would still be monogamous. We have previously been polygamous. We spoke about what happened with the girl, and while it wasn't okay for them, intentionally put themselves in a position with someone they felt attracted to. Especially spending 8 hours at this girl's flat under the circumstances, and how uncomfortable it made me feel. We started working on our relationship, taking space, but also going on holiday, and I even went to spend Christmas with them and their family, which was lovely. A day or so after Christmas, we decided to get back together again. A couple days after, I didn't fully trust them despite the fact that I had asked hundreds of times if they had heard of the girl, to which they always said no. So when they were out for a run, I checked their phone. I felt so incredibly guilty about it, but there it was, messages between Kai and the girl dating back to the exact day that me and Kai kissed when I went to pick up my stuff from their parents. That same evening, after agreeing to be monogamous, they texted and made plans to sleep together. The exact quote was, a meet up about 3, have some raucous sex, and then head to the gig. That sticks in my memory. They made numerous plans to hang out, presumably to shag, even while me and Kai were on holiday the week before Christmas. Kai cancelled every single one, apparently because they just couldn't go through with it. When I confronted them and said, have you heard of the girl, they said no. I asked them repeatedly and they still said no. I showed them the messages and they finally gave in. We spent several weeks talking about it and they were a wreck. They said that would go to therapy / couples therapy and so many other things that seem very genuine, especially about the fact they wouldn't lie to me again. They never have lied to me before any of this, and I'm pretty certain. Generally we are really good at communication, so much that people have commented, oh how healthy our relationship is, and I would agree up until this point. 3 days ago I spoke to the girl in question. She is now living with several of my friends and it was one of their birthdays. She had said she would be out all evening but ended up coming back and said she would be in her room. I rather drunkenly decided to go and talk to her when I heard her voice when I was walking to the toilet. We spoke and I asked her what happened from her perspective that night. That is when she told me they kissed several times. I called Kai immediately and they didn't lie this time. I had asked them so many times over the last however many months if anything happened more that night, and they promised me they hadn't. They proceeded to tell me everything after they initially said they were in a relationship. They kissed her several times over and even got on top of her. She even rubbed their dick, which was hard. This specifically makes me feel incredibly sick that they were hard. I don't know why, it just breaks my heart. She then walked them home and they kissed before they came in and broke up with me. I felt like such a shit person when we broke up, and that it was all my fault because of my mental health and everything I had put them through with my BPD, just to find out that moments before they were on top of some girl. I don't know what to do. I know it seems so obvious to break up with them, but they are, other than this, one of the most incredible, interesting people I have ever met. This is a person I would marry and have children with. They have said that they felt incapable of telling me and that they had repeatedly tried but knew it would crush me and physically felt like they couldn't. They seem so serious about getting therapy even if I don't stay with them. They have spent hours researching therapies and other things. They have been incredibly supportive of whatever discussions I make and have promised that this will never ever happen again. I do know that if we hadn't been in such a bad place that this wouldn't have happened, but I don't know if I can ever truly trust them ever again.